Hi all, I'm Ahamed doing my postgraduate program in management at IIM Trichy. Today, as a part of my academic project, I'm going to talk about the impact of corruption on the Indian economy. I'll be taking you to what is corruption and its effects, the steps taken by the governments so far to tackle it, and the measures that we should adopt to fight corruption. So what is corruption? Corruption is the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. Individuals and firms bribe officials to maximize their gain. Corruption should not be just viewed as a bag of money, but it has a lot more adverse effects than we can imagine. India is ranked as the 79th least corrupt country by the Corruption Perceptions Index of 2016 reported by Transparency International, with Denmark and New Zealand topping the charts. So, where do we see corruptions in our daily lives? Individuals bribing the officials to skip a queue. Small businesses paying money to the local policeman for protection. Firms paying hefty sums of money to secure a contract, and people selling their votes on elections. All these form corruption. So you may say these are all daily happenings and part and parcel of our lives. How is this going to affect the Indian economy? Well, this is how. Any country that is prevalent with corruption has lower amounts of their GDP going into the investments. There has been many reported incidents that the foreign investments which were willing to come to India have backed out at the last minute just because of the corruption that were prevalent in the government bodies. We have to keep in mind that any country which has low investments will have lower growth. And corruption has the power to shift the public spending to projects wherein the corruption can be made easily. You might have noticed how the amount of money that is being spent on defense is way more than the amount of money that is being spent on education. This is just because you just can't benchmark the money that is being spent on a custom-built high-tech defense project. Next, low quality products and services and non-adherence to safety standards. Let's take for example a firm that is securing a contract through bribery. In order to retrieve that money, the firm is going to sell their product at a price that is greater than the market price or sell us a substandard product. Here, substandard means both low in quality and non-adherence to safety standards. Next is the difference in trade deficit. Every country has a standard control institute which prevents the sale of low quality products in their countries. Corrupt countries like India, these approvals can be sought out easily. Let's take for example, China can't sell their low quality cheap products in the American and the European markets, but they can do it very easily in the Indian and the African countries. What's going to be the result? The Indian traders can't replicate these products at such cheap prices that China is giving us. So this is going to affect them and take a hit on the Indian economy. So is the government taking any measures to tackle this? Yes, they have been trying to induce transparency in the contracts and allocations and in every form of governance. They have also put information technology to good use to fight corruption. For example, online railway ticketing system. Now, nobody can hide the supply to make money in the form of railway tickets. And income tax returns have been automated. You don't have to go meet the IT inspector to get back your returns. So, what measures can be taken to tackle corruption? Before that, there are two forms of corruption. One is the petty corruption, the other is the grand corruption. Petty corruption is what happens in the lower levels of the system, and grand corruption, as the name signifies, happens way up the ladder. Petty corruption can be tackled with the use of information technology like the online railway ticketing system and the automation of the income tax returns. Grand corruption, however, has to be tackled with careful design of contracts using competitive processes. More transparency has to be induced in the government processes. The data pertaining to government contracts and dealings have to be made available on public domains. Just because of the opaqueness of these government processes induces bribery and corruption. In addition, strict property rights, more mature institutions, well-paid civil servants, and increase in supply so that people just don't have to bribe to jump a queue, and stricter laws on corruption has to be made with immediate effect. India alone can't fight this corruption war. The industrially developed countries also have a big role to play in this. The money that is being illegally siphoned out of India is being invested in these countries. So, any money that is evaded taxes, if invested there, have to be brought to the notice of the Indian governments and have to be penalized heavily. This war on corruption is not just to be fought by the government. We as individuals have to work within our value system to reduce it at the root level. Next time when you give or take bribe, just imagine that you are pulling down the growth of your country. Thank you.